Beer is actually turning men into women. When you walk into a nightclub during the early hours, everybody is super excited and people are having fun. They're enjoying it. But as time goes by and as they sip more of the alcohol or the beer, they start becoming depressed. So why is that? Why is that so? Number one, alcohol at lower doses is a stimulant of the central nervous system, the brain, and the spinal cord. Therefore, you will enjoy it because it's stimulating you and it's making you feel good, and the mood is set already. Now, as you continue drinking your alcohol, this is the time when there reaches a time when it starts to depress you, because alcohol at higher doses is a central nervous system depressant. So it starts getting you into depression. And this is the time most men and women make wrong decisions. These are the times you start feeling so emotional and you just want to leave. Now, also, it will stimulate your vomiting centers, the chemoreceptor trigger zones. Now, these are the vomiting centers in the brain. Therefore, you will start feeling nauseated and you want to vomit. Those of you who are fans of alcohol at higher doses already know what I'm talking about. Now, on the other side, alcohol has no nutritional benefit or no health benefits, or not even any benefits. It doesn't. We have just been accustomed to taking alcohol just because we think it's going to give us fun, but at the end of the night, it ends up depressing you. Therefore, for those of you who enjoy beer, and I'm putting that enjoy in quotes, these are some of the negative effects of beer. Number one, beer, and when I'm saying beer, I'm being specific. However, I want you to also know that alcohol is alcohol regardless of the percentage. Just the same way, sugar is sugar regardless of the source. Because the only difference here is the alcohol content, which basically from beer about 6, as we head towards the wines and spirits, which have been distilled more, and you get to 40%. So the alcohol content is a little higher, but alcohol is still alcohol. But let's talk about beer. So when you take that beer, number one, you excite your CNS, and then later on you'll suppress or depress the CNS. It's a zero effect, zero work. Number two, alcohol will lead you into gastritis, and beer will lead you into gastritis. This is the reason why most people who enjoy beer, they are always lining the pharmacies for that omeprazole capsule because of gastritis. But the weird part is they will never blame the alcohol because that's how nature has designed us. There are things that actually cause us harm, but we will always protect them with all we have. Now, when you get this gastritis, definitely you start having malnutrition. You start having indigestion. Most of you, when you eat that meat and then you start belching, it's indigestion. You start getting that bloating. Also, I've realized that the system actually understood this, and they realized that most people who go drinking alcohol, they will go for meat first and then alcohol. Now, when they end up getting gout, they will never blame the alcohol. They will actually blame the meat, because the system has lied to you that red meat will cause you a gout and high levels of uric acid in the system. Unlearn that. We already talked about that. Now, not only does alcohol cause you gastritis, alcohol in excess has a capability of causing you pancreatitis, both acute and chronic pancreatitis. Now, we know that the pancreas is the only organ that can carry out the entire process of digestion on its own, be it carbohydrates, be it protein, be it fat, it can carry out the entire process of digestion on its own. So you can imagine if you try to alter the function of the pancreas by inflaming the pancreas through alcohol, it is a serious problem. Also remember that the pancreas is the one that controls blood sugars, which means if you destroy your pancreas, you will be unable to control blood sugars. And guess what? Of course, we have a medicine for you for high blood sugars and diabetes. In relation to that, alcohol will cause you an alcoholic fatty liver. So when you take this alcohol, you metabolize in the liver, you get all this fat accumulating in the liver, and you start getting an alcoholic fatty liver. That is the mother of insulin resistance, which again will exacerbate your chances of getting a diabetes or even your diabetes. Now you can imagine you've destroyed your pancreas, therefore you don't have insulin. And now you're also destroying your liver, which is supposed also to carry out metabolism of glucose. So you end up having all these fats in your system, the triglycerides. You end up having all this glucose in your system, which is basically diabetes. You end up having all these issues with the prostate and enlargement, because insulin resistance is the mother of all these other conditions. I'll talk about the prostate enlargement as I finish this video. But understand this, that another problem of alcohol is that the more you take it and the more you accumulate that central fat, just remember that fat is highly estrogenic. Those people who take beer know, we can easily see it from your pot belly. That is highly estrogenic. This is also contributing to you as a man being super emotional, and to you as a woman getting into estrogen dominance, which is basically going to predispose you to fibroids, to cervical and breast cancer, to polycystic ovarian syndrome, the PCOS, and even ovarian cysts. So you can even weigh the odds against the benefits, and we already see very minimal benefits, but humongous detrimental effects. So why don't you quit it? Now, again, I want you to know that there is a natural conversion of estrogen to testosterone in the system, and vice versa. However, the process of conversion of testosterone to estrogen is actually called aromatization. Now, this aromatization happens under the control of an enzyme that is called aromatase. Okay? So this aromatase enzyme is actually stimulated by alcohol, which therefore means we will start converting our men into women. This is the reason why, before I go into that reason, so if you convert testosterone into estrogen using this aromatase that is activated by the alcohol and also the fat that you're accumulating as a result of taking that beer, now you're raising your estrogen levels in the system. So guess what is happening to the men? Estrogen is responsible for enlargement of the prostate, which is BPH. Estrogen is also responsible for erectile dysfunction in men, because once you raise estrogen, you lower testosterone. This is why also people who take chronic alcoholics have man boobs, because of high estrogen levels. They even have the hips and the buttocks that actually resemble women. So therefore, we are converting our men into women through alcohol. Okay, now you understand why that man becomes so emotional when or after taking those 6 bottles of beer. So beer is actually turning men into women. Stay away from beer. Now, this process of aromatization can as well be inhibited. Let's say you've been drinking alcohol and you've experienced all these issues, and you want to reverse these effects of raising your estrogen in your system. We've talked about how to reverse man boobs. That can be a video that can actually help you. But here's what you can do. First, if you stopped alcohol completely and you have all these effects still as the aftermath of chronic alcohol consumption, number one, start fasting so that you can detoxify your system, clean the fatty liver, and lower your insulin levels. Number two, also recover from insulin resistance, okay? And number two, start eating meats, fatty meats, so that you get adequate amount of cholesterol, so that you synthesize your testosterone. And combine that with cold showers, combine that with sunning your balls to get vitamin D and also stabilize your hormones. Combine that with healthy sleep, basically 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Go to the gym about 3 to 4 days a week and rest in between, because you get maximum benefits from the gym when you're resting, not when you're when you're working out. So go ahead and do these things, and then embrace healthy keto. Basically, go low on sugars, go low on processed carbs. Those people who go to the gym, don't even attempt consuming those protein powders and those soy products, because these are also highly estrogenic, and you'll be doing zero work. So stay away from protein powders, stay away from all those whey proteins. What you do, go to the gym and eat a protein, eat fats, eat vegetables that will give you healthy vitamins, eat pumpkin seeds so that it can boost your zinc, okay? And enjoy seafoods. Also enjoy salt to boost your fertility. Above all, practice semen retention. That is how you start boosting your testosterone. And now you recover from these effects of alcohol. So alcohol has possibly one benefit, which is excitement at low doses. And then as we go ahead, you get into more problems. And therefore, it's only fair that you drop the bottle.